know people who wake up at 3 a.m. the day after Thanksgiving for those killer Black Friday deals? How do they do it? I'm still recovering from all the cleaning and cooking and cleaning again from the day before. Heck, my stomach is still digesting pumpkin pie at 3 in the morning. Hats off to all those Black Friday diehards. Like last year, though, I'm staying in my PJs and grabbing those killer Cyber Monday deals. This year, I've got my gift-giving budgets back, and trust me, I'll squeeze it to the max. Rumor has it that Barmaids has another to die for Cyber Monday special. Did you know that when you purchase a sampler pack from Barmaids, you get a 15% off coupon? The samplers alone make perfect stocking stuffers, but the extra 15% means I'm prepared. Don't wait. After purchasing the sampler pack with the coupon code in hand, the Barmaids Cyber Monday deal is a steal.
Hi, my name is Tina, also known as Bloomingknitter. Today is Saturday, I almost said September, November 17th, and this is episode number 81. Welcome, welcome. I feel kind of a little discombobulated only because I have been doing some things around the house this morning, and I have a lot more things to do this afternoon, and we are going to go to a play tonight. So I feel like I'm kind of rushed, but I really have plenty of time, but I just tend to always feel rushed when I have lots of stuff to do because I just want to make sure it gets done so I have time to relax afterwards. But typically I always overplan my time so I don't run out of time to do something, and I always finish up early, but I don't know, I stress myself for no reason. Anyway, got a lot to talk to you today about, so I'm going to try and jump right in because I have a ton to talk to you about today. First, I want to start with the Knitting in the Mitten recap. I'm not going to do a blow by blow recap because Katie from Knitting on the Fly and Heather from Fiberista Files and Hillary from the Hippie Penguin podcasts, they've all done, very thorough recaps. Diane did a brief recap as well from Knittables. And I think you've got the gist of where we were. I did post the video last week, just kind of giving you a feel for what the event was like, and it was fabulous. It is what every knitting retreat that I have ever been to is like. You meet new friends, you reconnect with old friends that you haven't seen for a while, you get very little sleep, and you have a great time. And that's exactly what Knitting in the Mitten is all about. And Kagi did a fabulous job, and I just can't wait to go back next year. I did have a plan when I went there, when I left my house, to walk every day. Yeah, that didn't happen. Walking only took place one day. I knew that I wasn't going to work out, so I didn't even bother packing workout clothes, which last year I did work out while I was there. But this year, I just knew that it wasn't going to happen, so I didn't even pack any workout clothes, but I did think I was going to go walking every day, and that just didn't happen. I'm also not going to go through the goodie bag and prizes and stuff because, again, that was all done on other podcasts, so if you are really interested in seeing what was in the goodie bag or whatever, go check out one of the other podcasts that did recaps. But yeah, it was too short. I mean, we arrived Wednesday night, so we got there a little earlier than most people, but it still seemed too short, which is why I made knit-topia a week and a half. But we had a great time. Again, I think I'm still kind of catching up on my sleep. Now, Steve tells me that you just don't catch up on your sleep. You either get it or you don't get it, and then you just get back to normal. Well, I don't know why. I just still feel like I need to catch up on sleep. Although I haven't been sleeping more since I've been back, but I don't know. I still feel like I'm run down. Maybe I need to start taking vitamin C or something. Maybe it's the time of year, getting colder and what have you, that's dragging me down. But I don't know. I just feel like I need more sleep. Anyway, so yeah, Knit in the Mitt was fabulous. If you have an opportunity to go to Knit in the Mitten or any other knitting retreat, I highly, highly recommend it. It's just a fabulous, fabulous time. I am going to share with you the things that I bought there, but I'm not going to do that till later in the show, and I've got a lot to show you. I went a little crazy, and I also got some things in the mail this week as well. I do want to mention that there are a couple of Hurricane Sandy relief efforts going on. I know that Subway Knits is doing something, but I'm pretty sure that hers is ending tomorrow. So if you don't see this right away, you might not be able to get in on that one. And also Knitting Brooklyn, I think hers runs through the end of the year. So if you want to, I don't have all the details on or specifics on those, but you can go and check out their podcast for more information. I do want to do like a little bit of a book review for you. I was contacted by the author of this book, which is, I thought I had it pulled up here. I didn't open it in that. See, this is how it goes. The book is called Holiday Boutique Knitting, and I just have the PDF copy. I thought it was making it a little easier for the author to send me a copy so I can review it, and actually for me it ended up being a little bit more difficult to review this way, but I'm going to do it anyway. And this book is all kinds of holiday decorations, and I think the way that she sends it, I just got a PDF of the book, but it's not in like the final print PDF, so the cover is separate from the insides of the book, and I guess it just doesn't, maybe if I opened it in, let me try opening it in the Kindle and see if that makes it any easier to read through, because I'm having to scroll up the pages to get to everything instead of flipping the pages, and it just makes it a little bit difficult. I think it's thinking now. Anyway, the book is, I must be importing. The book is all different kinds of holiday decorations, all knitting. There's wreaths, there's snowmen, there's a fluffy holiday pillow, which is what was on the cover of that. I'm just going by memory. There's some Christmas trees, all kinds of really cool things. I can't remember if there was any ornaments or anything, but all kinds of really cool holiday decorations and everything. And I don't think that this imported into here. No. So I guess we're going back over to the other thing and go with the best we can. So here's a picture of some of the Christmas trees, and looks like they're different stitch patterns, and you kind of layer them up. Those are really cool. Actually, I probably should. Okay, so here we go. Here's the table of contents. So you've got snowman, like a table runner, tree skirt, advent calendar, stockings, pillows, towel buddy, rose candle decor, wreaths, evergreen trees, all kinds of different things. I'm just going to show you a couple pictures. And there's a picture of a tree, but I don't think that there's anything on there. But these snowmen are really cute. They're made with fun fur, I think. but very adorable and great, just great little holiday decorations. I don't do so much holiday decorations much anymore. Here's some felted, I think it's felted, yeah, felted garland. But I don't really do a whole lot of holiday decorations because our house is so small and I don't like clutter. Usually the most decorating I do for Christmas is a Christmas tree, and if I get really motivated, I will put out my Christmas village, which I have houses and stuff like that that light up. But that's if I'm really motivated. Last year I didn't even put the tree up because the cats climbed the tree and it just gets to be too crazy. And when I had the village before, the cats would run off with the little people. So I don't do a whole lot of Christmas decorating because I just don't like the clutter. Here is the Advent calendar, which looks very cool. It looks like you can put little things in the little pouches. So that's kind of neat. So this is a really, really great book if you like to do holiday decorating and want to do some handmade items for your holiday decorating. Just trying to see. Here's this towel buddy that you can put on a towel. So very cool book. You can get it for $24.95 on their website. Like I said, I got the PDF copy, but again, I think I just got it's not like the sale copy. I think this is the pre-sale copy. So, but still very cool. Here's a really neat wreath. So very, very cool, different things. Oh, and this is another one, pom-pom wreath, which is very cool. But I probably won't be making any, only because I just don't do a lot of decorating. But that's really the only reason. I may make something like this. My stepmom, she's like really into holiday decorating, and I could definitely see making some of these things not only just in Christmas colors but also for other seasons, like this wreath. You could do the same wreath but just do it in maybe 4th of July colors, red, white, and blue, and then hang little ornaments or something for that season, or Easter or anything like that. So I could definitely see making some of these things as gifts for people who do a lot of decorating. So check it out. It's called the Holiday Project Book. Let me double check that, because again, Holiday Boutique Knitting. I put Holiday Project Book because when I was making my notes, I forgot the name of the book. So the book is called Holiday Boutique Knitting. So check that out if you want to make some knitted holiday decorations. Okay, so that's that. I also started a thread this week for Share Your Love. Share the Love. And what this is all about is I bought a couple of things at Knittin' in the Mitten. And one of the things, and I bought things for prizes. Now, I'm not going to show you the things that I bought for prizes, except for what I'm going to give away for the Share Your Love drawing. But yeah, I bought a few things at Knittin' in the Mitten, and some things are holiday themed, some things are fall themed, and so this fall themed thing, as I want to give it away pretty quickly so that people could use it if they so chose. So I started a thread in the group for Share the Love, and what it is you would go to iTunes and write an iTunes review for the Knitting Blooms podcast or any other knitting podcast, and then come back to the thread and include the information that I have asked for in the thread. And the prize is three Girl Cave bags. And here they are. It starts with this little kind of notions pouch, which is very cute. It's just a tiny little thing. You could put your stitch markers or darning needle or whatever you'd like in there. So that's the first one. And the second one is this pouch, which is good for a pair of socks or a small project. It does open up at the bottom. And she puts the cute little buttons on here. They're so cute. And then it's that size pouch. And then the larger wedge, which also opens up. This is my favorite size right here. It's a nice wide bottom. And this would be good for socks or shawl or a medium-sized project. So you will get, the winner of the contest will get all three of these bags. All three. The small one, the medium one, and the large wedge. So go to the thread, go to iTunes, and write some reviews. You can enter up to 5 times with 5 different podcast comments. And it has to be a knitting podcast. You have to link, not link, you don't have to link, but you have to say which podcast it was and copy your comment in there and whatnot. So go out there and share the love. And you could have a chance to win these fabulous Girl Cave bags. So that is one thing that I purchased at Knittin' in the Mitten for a prize. Again, I've purchased a few other things, but I'm not going to show you those things because there will be a surprise when I actually give them away. So get out there to iTunes and start reviewing some podcasts. Okay, now let's talk about finished objects. Let's start with my slippers because I did felt my slippers before I left for Knittin' in the Mitten. And I didn't take them with me because they were still soaking wet. And I did felt them, and they are kind of wonky right now because I haven't really taken the time to fix them. But my slippers always seem to be wonky because I'm lazy when it comes to felting my slippers. They go on my feet and they keep my feet warm, and that's all that matters. So my slippers are not really, you can see they're kind of, they really needed to be stretched a little bit more when I was drying them. But I was in a hurry, and look at the bottom. But again, they're on my feet. But they are done. This is the first pair. And for whatever reason, I always seem to have 2 right feet. Both slippers always seem to fit my right foot, but they don't really go on the left foot. I have to force them to go on the left foot. So, and again, when I do my felting, I am lazy. So I have washed them and then put them in the dryer, and that's why they're kind of wonky and felted funny, because I don't take the time to really pull them back apart before they dry. And so they're kind of wonky, but again, they fit my feet, they keep my feet warm, and they're awesome. That's the first pair. And then this is the pair that was striped. And the bottom was white or off-white, but I washed them, all the slippers together. I had 4 pairs, and the red, I guess, from Steve's slippers came off and attached itself to the white. So they're kind of pink now, but that's totally fine with me. And again, they fit my feet, and they will keep my feet very warm. Again, you'll see here it's kind of funky. And that happens because, like I said, I throw them in the dryer or I spin them, and they kind of get dry a little bit too much before I really form them. But I don't care. It works for me. And again, they're just supposed to be on my feet. So those are the felted slippers. And then I also have some more finished dishcloths. I didn't weave in the end yet, but I'm still plugging away on dishcloths. I want to make hundreds and hundreds of dishcloths. I love the dishcloths. I use them all of the time. And it's nice to be able to just have a bunch piled up that I can just run and grab if I need for a quick gift. When I left to go to Knit in the Mitten, I just went to my bin and grabbed 2 washcloths out to take for the retreat house because they were already made and they were perfect. I just grabbed them and went, and I didn't have to worry about making them. So, more dishcloths on the move. Okay, I'm going to quickly show you also my sock yarn blanket, which I haven't shown you in quite some time. And I've done a number of squares since I last showed you. And I will just run through those squares with you quickly. So, here is my blanket. And it is big. It is wide enough, I think. It's way past my wingspan, that's for sure. But I think it's 25 squares across, but I wanted it wide enough so that if Steve and I were using it on the love seat, it would go over both of us if we so chose. And I have lots of ends. I haven't woven any of the ends on this row yet. But let me quickly show you the ones that I've done since the last time I showed you. So here's my marker. I always move my marker to the last one. And here's the ones I've done. This was from my peony socks that one went missing. This was from my a mystery shawl that I did earlier this spring. This was a pair of socks. This was the Soulmate, the Learner's Laces Soulmates. This was another mystery shawl that I did. And this was just some scrap yarn that I had. I have huge bags and bins of scraps because when I first started this project, I joined the Sock Yarn Blanket group on Ravelry, and they do tons of swaps. You know, you get a skein and you separate it out into 20 skeinlets, 5-gram skeinlets, and send them off, and then somebody swaps them, and then you get 20 different ones. So I did that a lot when I first started this project. So I have a ton of skeinlets. And people keep sending me stuff, and my friends, when they finish their socks, they give me their leftovers. But that's all I have. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows approximately. Almost through the 6th row. I have one more square for that 6th row. And I'm just plugging away. I just keep working on it a little bit at a time, and whenever I feel like it, and eventually it'll get done. So that's my sock yarn blanket. I did forget to tell you about the shawl that I'm wearing. I am wearing this shawl, and I have no idea the name, but I won it through Dragonfly Soar. She was doing a fundraiser for, I want to say it was Susan G. Komen, a while back, and I won it from her podcast. And her sister Tiff, who is Mojave Knitter, knit it, and I love it. It is lovely bit of lacy goodness. So go and check Mojave Knitter's page. I don't know if she has it on her project page or not, but if you'd like to see what the yarn is, it's got hearts on it, and you can't really see because of how I've got it wrapped around my neck, but it is warm. It's lace, but it's nice and warm. Okay, so let's start talking about the projects. Yeah, because those are, I told you about my finished objects, which were the dishcloths. But the projects, and really, I think the next few weeks at home are going to be very busy, so there's not going to be much knitting and spinning at home. However, we are going into our slow season at work. Between Thanksgiving and Christmas usually is pretty quiet. because unless we have huge storms that come through, because really nobody wants their house torn up between the holidays. So we are going into a quiet time at work. So hopefully I will get lots of knitting done at work. But I'm pretty sure that home knitting is going to be few and far between, because I am determined to get that bedroom finished before the end of the year so I can move back into it. As you know, we ripped down the ceiling in our bedroom upstairs earlier this year, probably in, let's see, when was it? I think it was just after knit-topia, so in May. And we've been dragging our feet on it because then we got sidetracked with the furnace project, and now we just need to get it back together. I am really getting so frustrated with having everything in the wrong places in the house. So I am making it a high priority for me to get that bedroom finished. And really all we need to do is finish the drywall mud and then paint it and move everything back in. So if I really hunker down and spend a couple of weekends really just pushing through, we'll get it done. But I haven't been working on it because of all the travel, and now that the travel's done, we should be good, except I'm cooking Thanksgiving dinner at our house, so between now and then I gotta kind of clean up and get everything straight for Thanksgiving dinner, and then after that I can think about the room. So I'm not sure how much knitting is going to be done at home. But let me tell you about my projects. Let's start with the knit swirl. And I feel like I haven't gotten that much knitting done this week, but it's really been 2 weeks since I've showed you my progress because of last week's Knitting in the Mitten mini video. So it'll seem like I have a lot. So here's my knit swirl. And last week you will remember that I had ripped it back, and I was actually I ripped it back too. It's hard to show you because I've got the stitch marker in here. I ripped it back to where that marker is, and I've done that much more. So I am past the point to where I was the first time before I ripped it back, and moving right along. One thing I do want to mention about this project is that I am trying a technique where you can knit in the round and never have to purl, because these welts are either stockinette or reverse stockinette. So what I'm doing is that I'm knitting on the right sides, or actually it's actually knitting on the wrong sides, but that's where all the confusion was with how the pattern was written. And then when I get to the welts where I have to purl, I am slipping the stitch after the marker and wrapping it and then turning it and then knitting back in the other direction. And that has prevented me from having to purl. And it looks like the first time I did this, I might have left a little bit too loose of an end, but I think I can kind of work that in a little bit. I'll have to move that yarn around a little bit just to tighten that up. And I think once I block it, it will be okay. But yeah, so now I'm not having to purl at all. Although I'm not really, it's not like I don't like to purl. I don't mind it. A lot of people are like, oh, I hate purling. I don't mind it, but I can knit a whole lot faster than I can purl. So in an effort to try and get this project done as quickly as possible, that's what I'm doing. And let me just show you what it looks like. This is going to be the right side. And you'll see I've got my eyelets down here. And then this is that condo. I'm trying to do this without losing stitches off my needles. And this section here is that condo welt that I was kind of like, what am I going to do? Am I going to like how this is going to look, kind of thing? And I do really like it. So as long as I'm using that as the right side. another thing is I am using the Russian join, which I'm really enjoying. I can't remember, somebody, after I talked about it on the show a couple weeks ago, somebody mentioned the Russian join, and I had never, I mean, I had heard about it, but I had never tried it before. So at camp, I tried it for the first time, and I love it, and I'm using it for everything now. If you have never tried the Russian join, try it. Because really the only, actually, here I am knitting. I think I'm supposed to be decreasing this round. The only ends that I'm going to have to weave in are the ones at the beginning of the project where I was cutting the yarn and before I ripped it back. So, love it. I'm getting progress. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 welts. I'm on the 7th welt, and I'm on the last row of the 7th welt. So I still got a long way to go. Off the top of my head, I don't know how many welts there are before the body starts, but it's more than 20. I know that. So that is coming along. But yeah, I like doing the where you slip it and you, instead of purling, you turn the work the other way and knit back, because that knitting is so much faster for me than purling. So that's that project. The next project we'll talk about is the halyard. And I don't know how much work I got done on this one. I think a fair amount. I did a few rows at knitting in the mitten, and it's coming right along. And again, this is the halyard pattern. I just finished one for myself, and this is one that I'm going to be doing as an auction item or a raffle item at Knit-topia. And it is done with Noro King and Knit Picks Bear, the one with alpaca, but I don't think they have that bear yarn anymore. But it is nice. I really like how the Noro King is, you know, gradiating. So it's coming along. And I haven't decided if I'm going to do it exactly the way that I did mine, or if I'm going to do the lace edge on it. I might do the lace edge just to make it a little different. I think it'll make it easier to block too, because with mine, it was like a ruffled edge, and I didn't want to block out that ruffle, so I really didn't block mine very hard. But I think that if I put the lace edge on it, I'll be able to block it a little harder. But that one's coming right along. Not too much progress on that this week. I don't even need that bag because I already talked about the dishcloths. Let's go to the next one, my shawl design, which got a little bit of love this week. I was trying to figure out how to calculate how much yardage a pattern would need, and I thought I was going to be able to use that same little thing that I used for the gradient shawl, which I think I still might. I just have to think about it a little bit more. But here it is so far, and I did a fair bit. I've got from here to here done. I think I want to do 2 more repeats before I go to the border chart. I'm just not 100% sure how big it's going to be. I think that's what I want to do 2 more repeats before I go to the border chart, and then I just want to do 1 repeat of the border chart. And I think I have enough people now for test knitting, but again, I don't want to send it out to test knitters until I finish the first one, just to make sure that I know what size and how many repeats I want to do and all of that. because I don't want to have to change it midstream. But this is knit in the Knit Pick Stroll Glimmer, and there's something about Stroll that I love. It's an inexpensive yarn, but it is a nice, soft, squishy yarn, and I just love it. So I can't wait to finish this up so I can wear it. And I know that I'll make another one because I'll probably knit a second one while the test knitters are knitting as well. Just for 2 samples, and then just to make sure once I actually write out the pattern, because I just have notes so far. And once I write out the pattern, I'd want to re-knit it with the pattern written and so forth. So that's my shawl design. Gosh, I feel like I'm zooming through these projects. But I still have lots more to tell you about. The next project are my stripy socks that were supposed to be done for the Knittables Knit Along for the stripy sock cow, and that did not happen. But I do have. I need one of those bags that have the center pocket or the center thing in it, so that I can keep my yarn balls separate, my 2 socks separate, instead of just shoving them in there. Anyway, I have both socks. This one I just did the heel on yesterday, so I have my heel there. And I did my normal short row heel, and when I got to the heel, I just dropped the yarn that I had been using for the foot, picked up the outside of the ball band, knit my heel, and then when I got around to the last row, I just picked up the yarn for the foot again. And that's where I was the last time I showed you on this sock. They were both about in the same position. But these little stitch markers, they came with the Hiya needles. And my friend Valerie had told me about them. I didn't even notice them before. She mentioned something. They're like a little safety pin, but without the little squiggly thing. And it's perfect for socks, for a stitch marker on your socks, especially if you're using size 00. Yeah, so those are coming right along. Here's the second one, which is right at the point for the heel, and I just have to knit the heel. And again, that's where I was last time, and I've done all of that. These go pretty quickly because they are just stockinette. And I might try and do the heel on this one before leaving for the play tonight, because I think I want to take these with me to the play. However, they are not easy to work on in the dark because the stitches are so tiny and the needles are so tiny. So I don't think I'll be able to knit on them while the play is going on, but I will be able to knit on them before, during intermission, and and maybe even on the way there and back. I don't know. I think it'll be dark on the way home, but I might take my little hug light. So they're coming along. If all goes well, they will be done by Christmas, which would be really fun Christmas socks to wear. They are the actually the Jack-in-the-Box colorway, and I think this is Hiawassee Creek. I have to double check that. But I love it. Love the colorway. Okay, now the ones that might get frogged. I responded to a plurk yesterday. Diane from Knittables had said that she had not knit since Sunday. And although I've been knitting since Sunday, I might be frogging some of the things that I knit. So the first thing is my mittens. And when I say frogging, I don't mean taking out completely, but here's the things that are going on with this. So here are my mittens. These are for the mitten knit along. And you will notice that there is no thumb gusset. Not because I forgot, but because I want to put in an afterthought thumb. Because I'm thinking I'm going to do mitts. And I also, when I did the Stinky Pink mittens, I wasn't real excited about how the thumb fit my hand. Now, it's perfectly fine and it works well with the pattern, but I wanted to try something different. So I'm going to put in an afterthought thumb, but I need to get to right here on my, I need to knit that much more before I can put my afterthought thumb, because it's got to be like right about where that the top of my thumb is, because typically you would have your thumb gusset coming up to widen it out. Now, the reason that these might get frogged is because I wasn't thinking about the fact that because I'm not putting in a thumb gusset, as I work up to this point on my hand to here, the mitten is kind of stretched. And I don't know, you can see it real good right here, I think. You see how that stitch is kind of really stretched out there? I don't like how that looks. And it might be okay once I block it, but I just don't know. So I think I'm going to continue and do the thumb the way I was thinking. I was going to put in a piece of waste yarn when I get to that. And I have really no idea how many stitches I'm going to use for my thumb, but I'll figure that out when I get to it. And then work up, and then I'm going to stop them about right here. I'm going to do fingerless mitts. And stop them about right there, and then see where I am with it. So there's the marker, and I am doing mine the same on both sides. You'll see that they look exactly the same on both sides, and I'm doing it for two reasons, because I don't want to have to worry about this is my right mitten, this is my left mitten kind of thing, and also because I'm doing the same pattern on both sides. Once I look at the pattern for the first side, I pretty much know it for the second side. Now that did get me in trouble at Knitting in the Mitten, because I forgot which side was the first side, and I forgot to do the second side, and so my pattern was off, which is why I had to rip back a good portion, probably about an inch of knitting at Knitting in the Mitten. But I am moving forward, and now I've got my little stitch marker on the front, so I know this is the front, so I should not be starting a new pattern row until I get back to that. So it's coming along. Like I said, I'm changing up how I'm doing it. Now Valerie has told me that she doesn't carry her floats because the floats are not that long. I've been carrying my floats. However, I'm not sure if I really like it, the way that I've been doing it. But I'm going to keep going and see where it takes me. But it looks very cool so far. So this is mitten number 1, which I should be much further along on mitten number 1, because really I should have mitten number 1 done by the end of the month so that I can have all of December to do mitten number 2. If all goes well, that will happen, but we'll see if it actually happens. So that's the first project that got worked this week that might get frogged. And when I say frogged, it's not going to go all the way back. I would just rip back to where the thumb gusset was supposed to start, and then just do it the way the pattern was written. The second project that might get frogged, and probably I am 95% sure that I'm going to frog this back some, but I haven't quite committed myself yet, and it's the even star. And the reason is because of two things. I'm so nervous that I'm going to run out of yarn for that final border. I don't know why, I just feel like I am. And for the second reason is because I started to do the transition because I thought I was going to run out of get close to running out of the second yarn, and I just think that the way I'm doing the transitions, which was 2 4 4 2, I think it's too much. I think I want to transition with 1 2 2 1 instead of 4, because looking at this, I can see where those color breaks are, and it probably won't make that much of a difference when I'm done with the project, but kind of irritates me right now. See how you can see just below that lifeline where those colors are, that's where the second color is, or that's where the third color is. So I don't know. I'm thinking that I'm going to rip back to this lifeline right here, which it's only 12 rows. And they will go quickly. And then I can retransition and do a 1-2-2-1 versus a 2-4-4-2, because I just think that the 2-4-4-2 might be too much of a breaking color. Now the first one didn't look so bad, I think mostly because they were really much closer in color, I think. Plus they're both pretty light, but we're getting into much darker colors, and I'm just afraid that I'm not going to like how that's going to look. I probably won't do this until late in the day tomorrow, but pretty sure that I'm going to take it back to that lifeline, that second lifeline down. I'm going to give it a little bit more thought, but more than likely that's what I'm going to do, because I really don't want to run out of yarn. I really want to take those first 5 colors through the edge, or right up into the edge, so that final color, which is, I don't know, it's an ounce. It's like, I want to say 320 yards or something like that. So that 320 yards is almost all on the border, other than maybe a couple rows for transition. But I love the pattern so far, and I didn't have Susan Pandorf knit on it at Knitting in the Mitten, and one of the reasons is because she's coming to knit-topia, and I figure I'm gonna have this finished by knit-topia, so I'll be able to get a picture of her with me and the shawl at knit-topia. So that is very exciting to me. So like I said, it's not going to take that long for me to rip it back, but we're talking about 500 rows, or 500 stitches, 560 stitches that I'm going to have to reknit 12 rows. So it is going to be quite a bit. Now if I rip it back, I think this weekend I'm supposed to be at row 115. Let me look at my list. By yesterday, I was supposed to be at row 115, and if I rip it back, I think I will be at like 112, but I should be able to catch up okay to make sure I'm back on track by next week to be at row 124, because right now I think I'm on like a 120, I think I'm actually on row 124 right now, so yeah, so I have to rip back 12 rows, but I think I will be much happier with it. I would rather rip it back now than say, oh, it'll look fine, and then keep going and be disappointed with how it looks in the end. And I might be making more of it. I think it possibly might be the fact that those lifelines are in there that make me look at it, and it really makes it stand out, because it just so happens that those lifelines are very close to where the color changes. And now that I think about it, I might have a hard time figuring out where my color changes, because I did the Russian join. It is a little bit thicker where the join is, but really not that much. I'll have to see if I can figure it out before I start ripping it back, because that would be a pain. I don't know. Maybe I'll just go with it. Maybe I'll just go with it, and then I'll have to knit another one. But I do like the pattern because it is going very quickly, and it's gonna be absolutely beautiful. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll just go for it, and it is what it is, and then I can always knit another one. And I can always buy the same yarn too if I wanted. But really, I think if I did it again, I would want to get something that's all one skein or maybe all one color so I don't have to worry about the whole transition thing. Okay, so let's talk about spinning. I have lots of spinning going on. Let me set this here. Let's start with something easy. I started some new fiber on my e-spinner, and it is from Winding Wool Creeks. I actually purchased this at Knitting in the Mitten last year, and it is one of her cotton candy bats. And until I went to start this, I had no idea that it wasn't a true bat, which intimidates me, but actually a bat that is kind of like this, where it's like strips that come off, which really, this is so much easier than I thought it was going to be. I don't know why I was feeling intimidated by it, but this is going quite easily for me. Here it is on the e-spinner. That's what it's looking like. And I have not done that much of it, but I have been working on it at work, which is really the only place that I do work on the e-spinner, is at work. But it's coming right along, and again, it's Winding Wool Creek, and I think it's in the, I don't have the thing here, but I think it's the Holly Berry colorway. But it's very cool. I almost bought another one of these from her at Knitting in the Mitten this year, but I thought I need to spin this one first before I buy another one. So I'm glad that I started it. It's on the e-spinner. Hopefully it will go quickly and I can feel more comfortable buying another one. And I meant to grab the bobbin off of my ladybug, which is the alpaca, because I did finish the first third. I think I'm going to two-ply it, but I did finish the first third, which I think was around, I want to say 5 ounces, around 5 ounces, because I think it was a pound. But I didn't, so you can't see that this week. But I also have what I'm spinning on the Sidekick, which is right here. This is 3 Waters. I think it's 3 Waters Farms. And it is quite lovely. I think it's 100% merino, and I'm not taking it off the wheel. But it's green and purple, and there's some sections that a little bit of transition. But it is quite lovely, and let me tell you, when it's on the bobbin, it is beautiful. And I'm going to just lift up the wheel here to show you. Oops, runaway ball. So there it is. And I don't know how the colors are coming out on the screen, but let me tell you, it is absolutely beautiful. And the transitions from one color to the next are amazing. And I am planning on, I am planning on Navajo plying this. I actually took the braid of fiber and split it in half and then in half again, lengthwise, because although this is not a gradient, it's somewhat of a gradient because it goes purple and then like this pink color and then back to green. But I wanted more repeats rather than longer color repeats. So I split it down the center, then split each one of those down the center again. So I had 4 separate pieces that I am just spinning end to end on the same bobbin, and will, oops, that should go that way. And then we'll Navajo ply it once I have all the pieces done. Now I have done, I just started the third of the 4 balls. So I just started this one, so I basically have 2 more balls left to go, which is about half of the fiber. So that's coming right along. Okay. Oh, what should we talk about next? I talked about my mittens, but I forgot to talk about the knit-along. We do have 2 people that have already finished their mittens for the knit-along, and I think at least one of them is doing a second pair, or maybe even possibly 2 more pairs. So we have lots and lots of prizes. You still have over a month to knit a pair of mittens to get in on the prizes. And we've been having lots of chatter on the chatter group, the chatter thread, which is really fun because you get to see the mittens as they go along, taking pictures and showing them, and that's been fun. We have, like I said, lots of prizes. I forgot to pull up all the different prizes. I posted them in the group. I know that I have a mitten kit that I will be giving away, which I will be posting the, I will be posting in the thread, a picture of it in the thread, which I just took this morning. So we have the mitten project kit, an Etsy gift certificate, which is going to be for $25. I don't know why I didn't put it on there. A project bag from 2nd Avenue Swag, which I have right here. This is the project bag from 2nd Avenue Swag. It is kind of like a triangle bag. See how that is? It is very cool. And then we have a $25 gift certificate to a yarn store of your choice, cephalopod, knit picks or webs, and then 2 patterns from Valerie's collection. So we have lots of stuff, lots of prizes, so you have a chance to win one of lots of prizes. So get your mittens started so that you can have a chance to win one of those. And again, I will post a picture of the mitten kit from Knit Picks, because it's too much to hold up and show you. Let's see. Also, Barmaids. I recorded 2 new commercials this week for Barmaids, and you probably heard one at the beginning of the show. And they are having a Cyber Monday special. To be honest, I have no idea what it is, but I would imagine that it's going to be fabulous. So I am planning on getting in on that deal because I just might use that as part of my Christmas gifts this year, because it is such an easy thing to give, and I love the product, and I know that anyone I give it to will love it as well. So check out their website. I'm not sure if they have any notes or anything on their website about what the Cyber Monday special is going to be, but it's got to be fabulous. But we also have a winner for the Barmaids drawing this week for a $15 off coupon of your order, and that would be number 16, and that's VF Knits Veronica in Virginia. So congratulations, Veronica. You are the winner this week for the Barmaids coupon. So get in contact with me and I will send you your coupon code, and you can go and get some special offers on Cyber Monday with that coupon. So let's get into what I've purchased. I have lots. I'm going to try and go through it quickly because I know we're getting close to an hour already. Alright, so I told you about 2nd Avenue Swag. She donated a bag, but I also purchased a couple of bags. And here they are. This nice little box bag. Not box bag, this is a wedge bag. Perfect for socks or another small project. And then I don't know what size this is because I think I had her special make it. I just said, can you make it? This was the size that she had in her shop, and I asked her if she could make one a little bit larger because I like the larger bags. And then this one, And it is hard to tell the size of the project bag online. I personally would prefer this size over this size, only because I do larger projects. If you're mostly doing small toys or what have you, then this probably would be fine. But socks works well, but I always have 2 balls, so I would need something a little bit larger to have my 2 socks. So this size works really nicely for me. So that's my Second Avenue swag. I also got my new skein of peonies from Spinning Fates. She did a special custom order for me because I lost my sock. So I'm very excited to have the yarn again so that I can make a second pair. Still have not found that other sock, but I'm glad that I have more yarn to make another one. I also got in the mail my Into the World Club. So if you do not want to see, if you have not received yours and you do not want to see it, look away. But it is Corriedale, and it is gorgeous. Oh my God, the colorway is just so vibrant and yummy. Look at it. Look at how pretty these colors are. Now, the red or the burgundy is not something I would typically gravitate to, but oh my gosh, the colors are just so awesome. The vibrancy of these colors are fantastic. I love it. So I'm excited to start spinning that. I have so many that I haven't spun. I don't even know where to begin. But I'm so glad that I'm in this club because it is so awesome. Another thing that I received this week is from June Price Fiber Arts. And isn't this lovely? I don't think that the camera is giving it justice right now. But it is somewhat of a gradient from light to dark. And it is, I can't remember the fiber, merino. And it is just lovely. Let me show you her card. And I don't know how I came across this Etsy shop, but I saw this pink and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to have that. So that's another thing that came in the mail this week. And then I have my Knitting in the Mitten bag that you've seen on the other podcast, which is where I'm storing all my little goodies. Let's see, what else can I show you? Okay, I can show you this. This is my Spartacus die works, or dies. Spartacus dies? Spartacus dies. Mary Gale of the exchange student in Fiberland. She made this bag. Just before Knitting in the Mitten, she showed her project bag on her podcast. And I thought it was the absolute coolest thing. And so I contacted her and asked her if she could make me one. And this girl, she must have whipped it out overnight because she emailed me and asked me which fabric I wanted like the day before Knitting in the Mitten. And then she arrived at Knitting in the Mitten and I was not expecting the bag to be completed. But she's like, oh, I have your bag. And I'm like, oh my gosh. It is so cool. It's a messenger bag, so it's got this nice flap here. And then there is a pocket here and another pocket here. Or you could flip this pocket so that instead of being under the flap, this pocket is on the other side. So you just flip it like this. And if I take the time to really make it look nice, it completely flips inside out. And so the pocket can be on the outside of the bag. It still needs to be rearranged a little bit, but then the pocket's on the outside of the bag. And if you decide that you just need a total change of scenery, you can flip the whole bag. It's completely reversible. And then your bag looks like that. And the pocket's on the inside. So then the pocket would be, whoops, the pocket's on the inside of the bag. I just think that's the coolest thing. I think that this is so ingenious. I absolutely love this bag. It is fabulous. I just can't get over how cool this bag is. I am going to love using it. Let me flip it back the way I had it. I'm going to love using it. It's going to be perfect for any kind of knitting project. It's a good size bag. Awesome. Love it. Love it, Mary Gail. It's fabulous. I just can't believe how ingenious that is, that you could do that. Absolutely fabulous. Spartacus Dye Works, or Dyes. I don't know why I want to keep calling it Spartacus Dye Works. I will link you to her shop. Fabulous. Okay, now the stuff that I got at Knittin' in the Mitten. And all the stuff I bought for me. Let's start with another Girl Cave bags for me. Green and pink. Love it. I love this size wedge. I mean, it's really the perfect size. Yes, I would also like to have a larger bag. I like larger bags. But this is a perfect size for a sock project. And it opens quite nicely. I mean, it's nice. It's a nice bag. It opens nicely. There's lots of room to get stuff in and out. Love it. Love it. I will be buying more of these. In fact, I just saw on Plurk this morning that I think she's having another update. I think we bought her out at Knit in the Mitten, but she's having another update, and I'm pretty sure I saw one of these bags in the picture that she showed. I also bought this bag, which is a little drawstring bag. And Debbie, I want to say her podcast is Twisted Willow Farms. I forget. I'll have to look it up. But she made these, and they're very cute. And I bought this one for myself. Now I have another one that I also bought for prize for later. But we won't talk about that just yet. So another project bag. Love the project bags. And then, let's see, if you watched the other podcast with the recap of Knittin' in the Mitten, you learned about the season yarn that Heather from Highland Handmaids dyed up for the retreat. And I got winter. And it was mostly because I didn't feel like getting in the group, but all the colors were absolutely gorgeous. So I'm perfectly happy with winter. It's just lovely bit of goodness. And this is on her sugar maple sock. And I don't think, I might have sugar maple sock. I know she has silver maple and sugar maple. Let's see what else I got. Oh, speaking of Highland Handmaids, I might as well show you the other things I bought from Highland Handmaids while I was there. I got this Brights Rainbow because Kagi TM talked me into it. I mean, it's obviously beautiful and my colors. And she says, oh, let's have matching socks. So I had to buy it. It is lovely bit of goodness. And again, this is on her sugar maple sock. And I also purchased this lilac Mountain Laurel lace base. And the reason that I purchased this was because this is the yarn that I just finished knitting that lace shawl with. And I loved it. It wasn't this color, but it was this yarn. And I loved it, and I thought I need to make something else with this. So I got another skein so that I can make something wonderful. And I also purchased this, which is her silver maple sock, and it's called the Beach House. And it is lovely. Beautiful, beautiful. And the silver maple sock has bamboo and nylon in it, where the other one, the sugar maple, is just wool and nylon. So that with that extra bamboo, it's shiny. Love it. And oops. Oh. There was lots of yarn purchases. And then I also purchased this, which is from No Loose Ends. Oh, she's Fiber Addiction, but what? I guess No Loose Ends must be her Ravelry name. But it's from Fiber Addiction, and this is Beautiful, Beautiful Blues. Someone put it down, and I picked it up, and then she turned around, and I had already grabbed it. Beautiful colorway, and it's got a nice twist on the yarn, too. So I'm looking forward to knitting that up. And in addition to these things that I purchased, I also placed a custom order with CJ Kopek for, I think, like 9 skeins of fingering weight yarn to make 2 sweaters. I'm a little crazy, but they were beautiful colors. I couldn't pass it up. I know I probably could just get it at another time, but I figure I'm here, I see the colorway, and I'm going to place the order. So I'm very excited about getting that and doing a sweater, actually 2 sweaters. I ordered a like a light purple orchid colorway, and the other one was pink and orange. So I'm excited about both of those. But that means that who knows how many yards of stash, or how many yards of yarn went into my stash this weekend. Too much, but you know what? I had fun, and now I will be on a buying freeze for a while. I'll be able to get my buying fixed because I have lots to buy for Knit-topia, and I've been doing that quite a bit this week. And speaking of Knit-topia, I want to mention the sponsors for this week. I am, like I said, starting my buying spree for Knit-topia, and also I am still contacting vendors for sponsorship as well. So if you have a fiber or yarn or bag or bowl, yarn bowl or whatever, if you're a crafter that does something to do with yarn and fiber and you would like to sponsor the Knit-topia retreat, just get in contact with me and I can let you know the details. Also, I'm looking for anybody who'd like to offer up a discount for some things that I can purchase for the retreat as prizes. If you can't, if you're not in the position to make a donation, then I would also, I'm asking for like a discount as well. So this week's sponsors that I'm going to list are Trendsetter Yarns, Webs, Yarn Sisters, Friday Studios, and Hornshaw Woodworks. So all of those will be added to the list of sponsors, and I will list them in the show notes for this week, as well as adding them to the Knit-topia website. And again, if you are a indie crafter, or even if you work for a major yarn company and you'd like to sponsor the event, please get in contact with me. And I think that's all I've got for you today. Lots and lots of stuff going on. I think we're well over an hour, and I'm sorry about that, but had lots of stuff to talk to you. It's been 2 weeks. Don't forget, we are on iTunes, YouTube, Blip, Roku, Ravelry, the blog, Plurk, Twitter, Google+, Facebook. Oh, I'm now on Instagram. Crazy. Like, I need more social media. So if you need to get in contact with me, there's lots of ways to do so. So I hope you guys have a great week. I hope your knitting blooms this week. I hope I have time to knit this week with Thanksgiving and everything. It's going to be kind of crazy. But I do have Friday off, so that'll be an extra day, but I really think that next weekend is going to be focused on getting that good progress done on that room, because I am ready for it to be cleaned up. So again, I hope you have a great week, and I hope your knitting blooms. Talk to you next week. Bye for now.